Hello, it's me. Just kidding. It is 3 weeks out. Today's actually Sunday, so technically 2 weeks and 6 days. And I just threw in some photos and some workout footage from this last week. Yeah. So, shoulder day, I tried to do a couple of heavy lifts, and then you do front raises and side raises and rear delts, and usually have to have lighter weight, but a nice front press, you get to kind of push some weight as well as upright rows. And I've been supersetting a lot on shoulder day, just really for the pump. It's such a small muscle. I feel like it just needs a lot of attention. So these are front raises. I think I might have supersetted this with some upright rows, but not sure. It kind of varies a little bit here and there since I'm in charge of my workouts, and I like to switch things up just a little bit, not too much, because I want to make sure that I'm burning about the same amount of calories, just so that the macros work the most efficiently. And yeah, I guess that's about it for shoulder day. But I've been feeling good. I have a tired day here and there. I have my refeed days. I get really too excited and eat kind of too much. I have noticed that I'm leaning out. I think that was my last rest day. I'm no longer going to take rest days. I've decided, just with having not very much time left, I really just want to get in the gym and just do all I can. Those Belgian chocolates had really good macros. A serving size is 12, but if you just have one or two, it's really great. I think I posted that. I also posted this pumpkin cheesecake recipe on my Instagram. I haven't tried to perfect it or anything, but it was really good. I do recommend having whipped cream with it though, because it just makes it taste so much better. Canadian bacon is a nice option, but it is pretty high in sodium, so depending on how we change up sodium during peak week, we will see. I don't think I'm going to do anything extreme, but he does have a plan for water and sodium. But yeah, I don't really believe in a whole lot of manipulation or being dehydrated and stuff like that. And my coach, being science-based, I'm sure does not either. So we are here on back day. Back is just hard for me, just pull. And I don't know, it's just always been not my favorite. So I watched a Steve Cook video on YouTube and tried to mimic his back day. I think it's his most recent one, but he hasn't done one in a while. He's been doing legs and stuff and whatever else, lifestyle stuff. But I like to use bands. I don't like the other type of assisted pull-ups. I just feel like the weight that helps you is just kind of weird. So this helps you at the bottom, not so much at the top. And I don't know. I think I doubled over it for some other. Oh, did I not show the wide grip? I don't know. Anyways, he had a machine that kind of sat him back and takes a little bit of pressure off of the back, the lower back. And so I kind of tried to do my own version of that by, resting my bottom on the bench. And it helps a little bit, but you definitely are going to feel it in your back, regardless, your lower back. And then I supersetted with some one-armed rows. Basically the same type of thing, but I was able to bring my hands out a little bit more, making a wider pull with the using both hands on the bench. So I like to use my straps, which I think I am using. My husband made them, and the reason why he made them is because he sells them for Hate Brand Goods. Sells them to Hate Brand Goods, which sells them, and I think these were he did one batch of black. The other ones are veg tan. Anyways, came over here to some close grip pulls. I like to do wide and close grip for upper, and then a low row, close grip, and wide pull. This ended up actually being a superset that Steve Cook had on his channel. So I think it's close grip high, and then I think I went to, I don't know, we'll have to see. Either a wide, anyway, it's a lower row. Yeah, so kind of like a wide grip lower row, and then a rack pull after this, just one after the other. I really try and focus on pulling my elbows back, really focus on my scapula, during back and really squeezing with my back. You can definitely end up working your forearm and your bicep way harder than your back, and you just want to make sure that you are really focusing for that mind-muscle connection. You can have such a better workout. Also, I tried to pre-exhaust my my back muscles a little bit so that if anything fatigues it, it's my back first instead of my biceps or my forearms. And I did that by some straight arm lat pulls. So that's the rack pull. And then here are just some, some food that I have, trying to keep it pretty low carb, other than pre and post workout. And here are just some photos of in the morning, and then up here is my progress photos, which is hard to see a huge difference week to week. There is changes, but yeah, they all are starting to look the same if you don't really nitpick them. Which brings us to our weekend check-in. But before we get to that, I do have a couple of rear shots just because my coach wants to see my hamstring glute tie-in coming a little tighter, so we're going to try and lose some weight, obviously, the next couple weeks. And then I did have a posing practice. When is my posing practice day? Friday? And today's Sunday, and I actually practiced today too, and have footage of that, but I guess I'll post that with the next one. And you can see my hammy glute tie-in is a little bit better in these, like in my posing, I guess this lighting, I don't know. It gets a little tricky. You don't want to bend over all the way just for your hammies and glutes. You got to just lose the fat and really tighten up. But yeah, I'm not going to show too much footage of this because it's the same thing over and over again. I'm working on some transitions. I do like the side pose, but I feel like certain angles, especially the coach's view, it doesn't look as nice. And since my core is so boxy, I feel like my other pose is more ideal, and I can really tighten my core a little bit better and just move things around, so it just looks a little bit better. So I'll just probably stop it right here. So not that pose. This is when I was still trying to do that. It's more like that pose. This is kind of a funny angle, but you kind of can see the glute pop a little bit more with it. Yeah, and just the angle just I feel like is better than this side pose. Probably will do both, but more so the traditional front pose. And that's all for today. Maybe I'll stop. Yeah, glutes look a lot better right there. And it looks so much different when you actually have your suit on. So you gotta pose with your suit on. I just haven't done that yet. I'll get there though, probably here pretty soon, maybe next weekend. Guys, so I checked in with the coach this morning, and I am, as of tomorrow, I'll be 3 weeks out. I lost 0.6 pounds on my average weight, and then also 0.6 pounds on my Friday weight. That's the highlight portion of it. My calories dropped earlier in the week, so Saturday I dropped my calories. He's going to leave me the same for this week, except I'm checking in on Monday, which is in 3 days. And I decided not to have any rest days, and so I'm going to do like Olympic functional lifting circuits on my day off instead of rotating, back to day one. So just a little extra cardio. And yeah, he had also increased my cardio by 5 minutes per session. HIIT was about the same, or is the same. And then as far as my measurements go, I compared them to 2 weeks ago because my last week's measurements I don't think were very accurate. So pretty significant differences in my opinion. Lost 0.15 inches in the waist, 0.75 in the hips, 0.5 in the glutes over 2 weeks. And then the thighs have been pretty much the same the whole time really, which is interesting, like the thick part of my thigh. But yeah, so that's it. And then I have, I added a couple of columns. So I'm going to be taking the average sodium intake and water intake over the next 3 weeks for my coach, or at least 2 weeks, because Friday before the show, or a week from the show, I'm going to start my peak week. And so actually, I think this is going to be my refeed. We've talked about it. He was going to have it be Monday, but since it's taking me a good 6 days to recover from my low weight, and then this is my refeed day, and then it takes me a while to recover. So we're going to start a little bit early for that, right here. And then this is peak week, and this is show day. And then I start a reverse diet. So, yep, got all my appointments listed right here, I think. Some typos. But anyways, sometimes I leave my thoughts here and they're not always accurate. But that is it. That's my 3-week checkout. And so I'll have my 2-week and then my 1 week out, and then I'll have my show day. So pretty exciting.